Hello, everyone, and welcome to the GGRated podcast. I'm Joshua Gray, and this is my other host,
Gino Evans.
Gino
Thank y'all
Evans.
for stopping by.
Yes, thanks for stopping by. Today is going to be a pretty short show. We're just kind of going over some new games that came out for Gamescom. I got a couple favorites I want to go over, talk about, nerd out over a little bit, and then Gino's got some news and some other things. Figure we can go ahead and run through it.
We're just doing all this, just preparing for Starfield. That's pretty much what we're doing.
Basically
right?
preparing for Starfield. There's going to be a whole Starfield episode where we talk about everything Starfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I like that.
So, all right. Do you want to go over some news first, buddy?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, you want to go over? I know you was talking about just a second ago, kind of off air, but about the Robocop.
Yes, Robocop
what
Rogue
can you tell us
City.
about that?
Robocop Rogue City has been delayed till November. The planned release date was for September 2023. Just found out about 5 hours ago as this recording is going out. What's the 29th of August? That it's been delayed till November. That's one I'm really excited about. I really want to play Robocop Rogue City.
Oh, that's going to be good. I know we talked about it a while back before, and I feel like they had some bugs, some tweaks to kind of work out with it, you know. But I feel like if they can get that under grabs, I think that game could actually be kind of good. And I think it'd be kind of fun to visit, you know.
I think it would too, man, because RoboCop is a movie as far as the franchise goes. Is something that I'm really interested in and I really like a lot. I love the director. He's got some pretty cool movies. He's done RoboCop, he's done Starship Troopers. You can tell he creates a universe that is distinctly, his style. And RoboCop is something that I've been into pretty much my whole life. Is a movie that I watched as a kid that I probably had no business watching, but it's really cool. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. I mean, all that stuff. I love RoboCop. And just kind of going over, yeah, dude, it's legit. Become the legendary part man, part machine, all cop hero and deliver justice in old Detroit. It looks like the graphics are pretty awesome. I'm not fully convinced about the gameplay yet. It's gonna be cool to be RoboCop, but I'm not sure how they're gonna expound on the gameplay. Because he's a robot that, he walks slow and he shoots people.
Is it going to get old? You know what I'm saying? That's the question. Is it going to get old kind of fast? Right?
Yeah.
You go around, you shoot everything, shoot a bunch of people and all. And that's what the trailer kind of showed. But that's what I'm worried about with that game. It's going to kind of get a little bit redundant. So I hope they kind of fix that aspect to it.
I hope they do too. It looks like the graphics are really going to keep it fun. Like if something has amazing graphics, there's a lot going on the screen. There's maybe some new abilities you can learn as you go. It looks like he's just mowing down people and the environment is really destructible. Looks like you're going to end up fighting Ed 209. Looks like it says here you're going to explore open areas and complete your objectives according to your own sense of justice. So that tells me there's maybe going to be aspects of the game where you can make your own choices. And
who's Ed 209?
Ed 209.
Is that the big robot?
He's the big robot with the dual guns on each arm.
Yes, that was in the office.
Yes, he was in the office building in the first RoboCop. He's like,
yes.
Dead or alive, you're coming with... Wait, no. He didn't say that. That's RoboCop. He says, put your weapons down. You have 10 seconds to comply.
And nobody has their weapons or anything out?
Well, there's this one dude that does. They're kind of doing a test, and he throws it down, and then like Ed's like, you have 5 seconds to comply, and he's like, what? I put my gun down, what's going on? And then he shoots him. Ed shoots the guy in the office building. Yeah, it's brutal, but
they're like, back to the drawing board.
Yep, exactly, because they in the movie they tried to recreate RoboCop a bunch of times. That's actually in Robocop 2. They can't really duplicate what they did with him, but Ed 209 isn't considered a cyborg. He's like full robot. Robocop is considered a cyborg because he has like human brain and heart, and rest of him is like robot. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's gonna be neat, man. I'm excited for it.
yeah, hopefully they kind of add to the story a little bit to, add some new stuff to RoboCop
Yeah,
story. I would love to have a new one kind of come out, like, kind of
I'm wondering.
pique
That's
the
a good.
interest a little bit.
Yeah, dude, that's a really good question because I'm wondering when in the story this game is set. Like, is it in the middle of him being RoboCop between 1 and 2? Because like, there's a pretty big leap between 1 and 2 where he becomes more human. Like I think it's at the end of 1. He's like, my friends call me Murphy, but you can call me RoboCop. Then it's like, bah, 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 bah. That's at the end of 1. So yeah.
Well, it's just, we talked about with Ghostbusters on the last podcast about how they kind of tied it into the movie, and that really helped give that nostalgia feel. And it kind of, they pretty much said the developer was saying that it kind of made it like its own movie. It was like a part three or something, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to add, like, in reference to what you were saying, hopefully it kind of adds to the story. I feel like if they kind of do like what we did on the last podcast, what we talked about with the Ghostbusters game that we
Mm-hmm.
played, they tied that game directly. The developer pretty much said, "Hey, this is like a third movie of Ghostbusters, right?"
Right.
And if they do that with RoboCop, I feel like it'd give it a lot more. I think it would hit a lot more to the fans. I know it would to me if they kind of elaborate on the story a little bit, give us little tidbits from the past on the movies that we kind of grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard, you have, what is it, Ed, what's that the machine called?
Ed 209.
Ed 209, yes. So I remember I have more visual of the movie than remembering the lines.
Mm-hmm.
But if they kind of they kind of adding stuff in, if they're going to have Ed 209 in there, I
Yeah.
mean, so I'm kind of looking forward to it, honestly. Hopefully we can get a hold of it and give a good review of something.
Yes. Hopefully we can. I'm gonna throw this in here real quick. Here's a compilation of him saying, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me."
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Quick little comp.
Drop it!
Drop it.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
So cool, dude. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. That's like his tagline.
You're dead!
Yeah,
We
that's
killed you! We
So
killed you!
good. So good. Yep. Just a little RoboCop action there. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
I played not too long ago. I don't know if you know this, but on Launchbox and everything, I've been playing the regular Nintendo RoboCop games. Actually, pretty good.
Oh
It's actually
yeah.
kind of time wasted. Did we do that one night?
Yeah, we did, I think. I'm trying to
I
remember.
think I showed
We
you
had
when
like
I
a
had the.
whole RoboCop night, and that actually didn't ever come out. Um,
I actually played it on my Analog Pocket, which is really fun to play on that. Like the Game Boy, it's
uh-huh.
like the Analog Pocket's like the Game Boy, and um, really good picture and all that. And I downloaded RoboCop on there, and man, I ended up spending like over an hour just playing that, and I was like, man, this is pretty good.
Oh,
So
really?
simple, but really good.
Yeah. Awesome.
You just shoot up everything.
I'm really hoping they bring the franchise, they like do something different with it because the last movie wasn't bad, but it wasn't RoboCop, you know. It
It
was a
needs a more
different take
story
on it.
element to it. I feel like that's what I feel
Yeah,
like.
I mean, they made him where he was like sleek and fast and futuristic, but I feel like RoboCop needs to be, slower. Um,
Yeah.
it's a little more, I don't know, there's something not scary, but there's something really that like strikes fear into all the bad guys of this like robot man just walking through mowing everybody down. There's something really cool about it.
Oh shit, it's the police,
It's
but
the
futuristic.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly. So yeah,
But that's a pretty, so you say it got delayed though, right?
yeah, it got delayed till November. So
That's probably much needed, man.
that's
Honestly.
one that I'm excited about, and I got one more I'm excited about. If you want to go over that,
Yeah, let's do it,
all
man.
right.
What you got?
It's called Expeditions. It's a Mud Runner game, dude. So I'm big into Mud Runner. I'm big into different types of games like that. There's one called it's like an off-road game that I play. I forget the name of it. Um, Rock Crawler, I think.
They
Hold on.
announced that at Gamescom.
Hold on. Oh, I'm
Trying to get the
sorry.
exact name. I know
Yes, I
you.
gotta know this.
While you're looking that up, I know
It's yes.
that. Is that what it is?
No, it's called Pure Rock Crawling. So that's another game
Okay.
that I play on Steam. I play it on my Steam Deck.
Is it anything like Snow Runner or Mud Runner? I know those games you kind of got me into, which was
Yeah.
really fun.
So
Really fun.
Expedition, I think, is a Mud Runner game, which is also the same people that made Snow Runner. And kind of the synopsis here is you embark on a scientific expedition with this new off-road adventure from the creators of Mud Runner and Snow Runner. Lead research missions as you drive a variety of all-terrain vehicles using high-tech tools and managing your camp and crew to ensure your success in the wild. Oh, so it looks like this is going to have more of an objective of you getting a crew out in the wild to go do research in different types of terrain. So that seems cool, man.
What does it say what kind of research you would be doing though? I mean, you
It doesn't say
just
it.
wildlife?
Looks like you have different types of tools. Looks like you have a drone you can use.
Oh,
Let's see. Experience a new take on this most advanced off-road adventure from the creators of Mud Runner. Plan your itinerary wisely by flying over the landscape with your reconnaissance drone. Use your metal detector and camera drone to locate caches of valuable equipment. Chart through extreme landscapes.
well, I'll say
Yeah,
this.
I'm not exactly sure what you're going to be researching, but
Well, great. I'll say this. I mean, I know a lot. I don't know if our viewers know, but or our listeners, but you have a Ford Bronco off
I do.
road. I'm looking at getting a Gladiator, and it's definitely going to pique the interest of people kind of like us that's kind of want to go outdoors and kind of do some trails, overlanding, stuff like that, and you can kind of get a taste of that in these games. I know if it's the same makers that you said as Mud Runner and Snow Runner, I mean that's pretty exciting to kind of get a new adventure and kind of go into it and see what kind of new ideas they came up with. I like the drone idea. I like it.
Yeah, me too. And that's an awesome point because me and you actually rode our vehicles inside of SnowRunner and we did a couple maps and actually made a video that's playing on our GGRated YouTube channel. It's really cool, man.
It is.
I was really proud of there was kind of a voiceover that I did at the beginning of it. Um,
I
where
remember you got stuck in the swamp. You remember?
Yeah,
The
dude, we
swamp?
got stuck in the swamp. I actually haven't done that video yet. This
Weird.
first one
Yeah, I
was
just
we were going up like a bunch of rocks and stuff. You were
yeah.
on a Gladiator and I was on a Bronco. It was really
I
cool.
remember I almost flipped off. I had it connected with the wrench, I think
Mm-hmm.
the yoke, to the tree, and I pulled and I almost fell off the cliff. It's really cool, but ultimately I think I
The
pulled
boys
Gray
are
out
at it
of
again.
it.
Uh-huh.
So it would be kind of like real life. I'll get Gray out of all the I'll pull him out, with my Gladiator probably. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna play
y'all
my
heard it. He
intro
said
to it.
yes. He
Yes.
said yes.
Yes. I'm gonna need the help if we do some extreme stuff. Which I'm gonna get you out there, man. Like I know you
That's-
said, this is gonna be your baby and everything, but we're gonna
it
have to
is.
do a few things that are kind of extreme, you know.
It's my baby, but I don't know about extreme now, but I
We're
would
gonna
hate to go
cross some
back home to
rocks.
my wife and be like, Ashley, I fucked up, like the hangover or something,
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna play the intro to this real quick so you can get kind of an idea of what kind of edit we did on this.
Again, this time they have moved to a more realistic off-road experience. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you SnowRunner. Grip, gravity, and cojones will be tested in this here episode. So turn on four-wheel drive, put it in the low gear, engage them lockers, and grab your winch, because we're about to hit the trails.
So that's kind of an intro. I had the camera on my wheel, and I think after this you eventually got a wheel too that you got a sweet deal on. By the way, I paid $300 for mine, and you got
What was it?
yours.
I think I paid 75.
I know, for the
bucks.
same wheel, dude. Like, holy crap.
I remember calling guys. I was calling Gray, and I was like, "Hey, man, Facebook Marketplace, this wheel $75. Is this a good wheel?" And he just like didn't answer me at first. He was just like, how much did you say that wheel was?" So he was like, "Absolutely, but you better be careful, And
Yeah.
it ended up being legit. I guess you can still find some good deals.
You got the
around there.
Logitech G920, I think, which is
I think so.
right now it's $249 at Best Buy. So
$75.
got it for 75. That's a sweet deal. But yeah, this new game made by the creators of SnowRunner and MudRunner Expeditions is the name of it. Looks cool. It looks like a worthy sequel to the series, and I'm excited to play it on my Steam Deck. I'm sure it will run great there. So that's it for that.
Hey, well, do you think we can go into a little bonus news? I'm going to bring up a little something real quick. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, let's go ahead and transition to that.
Game not over.
So we got the new. I know we talked about this. We have not got our hands on it yet. We're kind of waiting for Starfield, but everybody should know that the new Armored Core 6 is out as well. It was released August 25th.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a mech-driven multiplayer game, so that would be really cool to get our hands in the cookie jar on. Mortal Kombat 1 as well is slated to be released soon on September 19th. Looks like they're completely redoing everything and starting over from scratch, which I kind of like, changing some things up. So they had those couple of trailers at Gamescom. What we talked about on the last podcast, Alan Wake 2, released on October 17th. We got one of the biggest news I want to bring up is there's been a lot of controversy about Xbox with Starfield coming up, making Xbox Game Pass deals go to the $1 deal. If you sign up, they took it away, and everybody's all up in arms about it. But I think they're making the right move here. This is their big release. This is all or nothing, I feel like. And if you don't take that away, you need to make as much money as you can at this point. It's a business move, right? People wants to play this game. They'll do anything to play this game. On Amazon, just to state something here, on Amazon, the percentage of sales for Xbox consoles has went up 1,000%. 1,000%.
Wow. And you think that has to do with Starfield?
I think it has everything to do with Starfield. And I feel like even like today, Stone Mountain 64, I know you know who that is, big streamer and all. We used to watch with Call of Duty and all. And even he put out a tweet today saying, all this hype that I keep hearing about Starfield, I think I'm gonna have to start streaming it and start playing it a little bit. So it's gauging interest on everybody, and even the PlayStation fans that hate it so much because it's not on their console, is going out and it's going to find a way to play this game. So it's been a little bit of leaks and controversy, and we'll go all into that, I'm sure, on my next podcast whenever we talk about Starfield. So guys, if you like this content, you like hearing what we have to say with it, and I like for y'all to follow us. So make sure you follow, keep up. We try to release a new episode every week. We try to do it on Mondays. At the very latest. I know this week is what, Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the bonus news as far as right now in reference to Xbox and taking away the trial pass. Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea that they did that?
I think it's a good business move. I'm not sure how everybody's gonna feel about it as far as new people that are coming to it because I've already gotten that deal before, so I can't complain too much. But I think it would have been nice for other people to get that deal. But man, like I think people that are just now coming into it, were probably just gonna get it so that they could try out Starfield, and they're probably gonna lose a lot of people after they try that game and they don't like it, or they do. If they do like it, then they're probably gonna stick with it, or maybe just buy the game and not get Game Pass if they're not already in that ecosystem.
Yeah.
So, all in all, I think it was a good business move. I don't think the community is going to complain too much because you're going to get an awesome game out of it,
I think so. I know I keep saying but there's so much to think about when it comes to this game.
I know.
To talk about I say again, but is I think that it comes to a point that Game Pass has kind of struggled this past year. Phil Spencer said it was a dead year already for them. He admitted to that, right?
Oh,
With
really?
Xbox. Yes, and
A dead year as far as like new games coming out?
yes, as
Oh,
new
right.
games, exclusives, first party titles, like none. And then Redfall was a disaster, and
I didn't
now
even
you
play
look.
that, so I
I
don't
mean,
know.
so that says it all, right? Me
Yeah.
neither. But it was well, it's you couldn't play it. It was so terrible. But I think with this coming up, with Forza coming up, Fable coming up later on, maybe a new Gears of War they're hinting at,
Yeah.
Avowed. I mean, they're setting themselves up to do some damage, I think, and I kind of like the direction they going and the confidence they got going, and so much confidence so they're saying, hey, look, we're getting rid of these free trials. If you want to join and you want to play these games, you need to pay your membership, and I
Right.
think that's how you build at that point.
Yeah. I'm really hoping they stick and they build off of Starfield 2 so that we can eventually get that multiplayer aspect that we've really been wanting out of it. Used to be more avid Star Citizen player, and it's a really fun experience to do things in space and travel to different planets with your friends and try different things like that. And I think if it is the flushed out premium smooth experience that we're hoping Starfield is, then that would be like the dream game to do that type of thing on an actual finished game, that's in a good ecosystem like Xbox that's going to get plenty of support.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how many bugs there's going to be off a launch, man.
It's Bethesda, man. Bug
Yeah,
desert.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
it's suspected. But did you ever play Skyrim?
I played it a little bit. It wasn't
Me
really.
too. It was
I'm not
okay,
big
but
into fantasy, and I know
yeah,
lots of folks are, and it's a big market. But I'm more into the space and space travel,
same here. It's
science
hitting me
fiction.
hard.
Yeah,
But the question I have is, they came out with Skyrim, but then they came out with Skyrim Online, um, which is separate from the story base, kind of like with Starfield. I wonder. I think you hit on something pretty good there. I've been thinking about, and not a lot of people's talked about. But if this hits really well, they could be in development right now for a Starfield Online.
yeah,
Where you and me can link up and go to these planets, and or they can build out with DLC. The big DLC is, hey guys, guess
yeah.
what? Multiplayer is here.
Right. And
It's probably a couple years from now, but
maybe you have to think back to
it'll be huge.
what's that game? Space Game had a rocky launch. Everybody hated them, and then they completely turned it around.
Cyberpunk?
And now everybody loves it. No, it's older than that. It's a space game where you explore tons of
Oh,
different
Outer
planets.
Worlds. Outer
No,
Worlds.
no, it isn't Outer Worlds. It was even before that. It was like the first game of its kind where you could
Oh, dang
explore
it, Gray. I mean, I
different
got Outer
planets.
Worlds Cyberpunk. They had rough starts and they turned it around.
No, this
You gotta
was
give me
like the
something
first
more.
one to do it. Like, not the first one, but this is one that had so much hype around it, and then everybody was so mad at it. I can't believe I can't remember anything right now.
Don't worry. As soon as you
Listen.
stop recording and we get done with this, you'll remember it. Don't worry.
I'm looking it up right now.
Well, while you're looking that up right
No
now,
Man's Sky. It's No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky had the
that's right.
rockiest of rocky launches, and everybody was hating on them, and now people love that game. They really came through, and they kept grinding at it, kept working at it, and now people love that game, and they love the developers. They stuck with it, man.
The only complaint, because they compare that game so much to Starfield right now, right?
Well, yeah,
And-
because it's kind of the same as
Yeah.
far as, I'm not sure if the planets are procedurally generated in Starfield, but they were in No Man's Sky.
Well, that was what I was about to say. Is I think that's the big difference, and they talked about it a lot. Todd Howard or whatever his name is,
Yeah.
with Bethesda,
Yeah.
he, the Outer Worlds or No Man's Sky, I'm sorry, is like it's pretty much the basic. You're gonna get kind of the same thing. And I feel like with Starfield, you're kind of going to get, there's a different kind of way of like so many points of interest is not going to be the same. But at some point, you're going to get the same point of interest. And I just wonder where that threshold is going to be. Because as soon as you hit that threshold, people's going to start saying, well, No Man's Sky is the same way, but you can actually fly into a planet,
Right.
which Starfield, you're not going to be able to do that.
So,
And
yeah. The thing about No Man's Sky is they keep expounding on it. They keep doing They keep doing updates that are free, and they'll make the planets look better. They'll add more content. Like, there's so much free content that they add to it. And every now and then you'll come across a planet that is like truly spectacular. But at the beginning, everything was really basic. All of the planets were kind of similar. You might see different animals that look weird, and like maybe planets that were strikingly different, but there was a lot of stuff that was the same. But I think as of now, the game is totally different than how it started. But that took years. Like, they've been working on it for years, and I'm pretty sure it still has a big following. They've
if they're able to do that. If they're able to do that within years, I mean, it just makes you wonder what can Bethesda do with Xbox backing.
Yeah,
in years.
because Starfield is really different graphically too. Like, it's going to be more of your simulation experience, I think. Which is really
They've been
different.
working on it for 8 years. 8 years.
8 years, dude. And you look at the other game that I play,
Starfield Citizen.
Star
Not Starfield.
Citizen.
Starfield Citizen.
Starfield Citizen. It's
Star
getting all
Citizen.
jumbled up now. You look at Star Citizen, it's been in development for, oh my gosh, over 10 years, I'm sure.
I just need to hop on and just get it with you. And
Pre-production of the game began in 2010, with production starting in 2011 with Star Citizen.
Oh, wow.
So it's been in development a long time, and it's still in alpha. Like, there's actually two games. There's the Star Citizen, which is, where you play online in a big universe, and then there's the other one that they've been trying to come out with that is more of a story game, and they have different people that are on it, like big time stars that are involved in it.
Well, do you think, does that bring your confidence level kind of down with Starfield coming out? If Star Citizen, you know how many bugs they have and stuff, right? But it's huge, right? It's almost unlimited. Do you think it brings your confidence down for Starfield because they didn't even develop it as long as them? Star Citizen still isn't even out, really.
That's an interesting thing because, just real quick to go back to what I was saying. So there's a single player campaign that's part of Star Citizen called Squadron 42. So there's actually two different games they've been kind of like working on, which
Is that out yet?
no, it was supposed to be out. It's more of a story mode, like where you're actually going to be involved in a story with different
Gotcha.
characters and everything. But so the thing that you were saying about the development part, so I think the big elephant in the room that everybody knows is that they don't believe that Star Citizen is ever going to come out because it's such a big money maker that they can just keep on having people back the game, buying different ships and stuff. And if they keep doing that, it's always going to make money. And
Microtransactions.
yeah, well, it's like you're not really paying money to get equipment and stuff. Although I don't know if you might can, but it's basically like they come out with new ships all the time, and people buy them. Like there's ships on this game that are worth an obscene amount of money. Like the most expensive ship on Star Citizen, let's see. The most expensive ship is $3,600 on Star Citizen.
$3,600, like US dollars?
US dollars. You can buy a ship in this game for $3,600.
That thing better fly out the PC and come pick me up for $3,600.
I know, that's what I'm saying, man. They have people that are so diehard about this game and spend a lot of money on it because they want these ships. They've had people that's worked on different well-known properties that have designed these ships. I believe somebody that's worked on The Mandalorian has built some of these ships or designed them, and I'm sure a bunch of other stuff. Like there's a whole YouTube things that are devoted to this game that come out with stuff like every week where they just do nothing but talk about the game and everything around it. So there's so much to be said about Star Citizen, and it's incredibly hard not to compare this to Starfield.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I know you're gonna be snatching up Starfield with me as well, but I think I'm gonna have. I've been kind of holding out on Star Citizen because Starfield coming out, but I think I'm gonna have to just to be able to play with you, buddy. I'm gonna have to get Star Citizen.
When
to fly around.
Yeah, the next time it's free, I think that'd be a good time for you to try it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would spend the money on it as of yet, but just give it a try one day.
Well, speaking of something to buy money on real quick before we have to get off of here, Sea of Stars, I just bought the game. People's been ranting and raving over it. 90 on Metacritic.
Wow, that's good.
89 to 90 on all Metacritic scores for all platforms. It's a RPG kind of 2D game. Kind of like a Final Fantasy games. And so far I've been playing it for the past 30 minutes to an hour, and the story seems like really good. And guys, if you don't have it, check it out, pick it up. I think it's $30 on Steam right now. It's got a 10% off, and so far it seems to be kind of a pretty good game just to kind of put your time in.
Yes, dude, this is a game that has been on my wish list for a while, and we actually game share, so I'm going to be playing this definitely. Yeah. And I think they've talked about how this is kind of a love letter to Chrono Trigger.
Oh.
They've really basically like said that, like, hey, we love this game. This is kind of a callback.
It's the same style. I mean, dude, same exact style.
It looks really awesome, and I can't wait to play it, man. So thanks for buying that, buddy.
yeah, no problem, man. You can get me on the next round. It's all good.
Absolutely. Well, man, like I'm sure we could keep talking about random stuff, but I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Let me throw out to you guys. Our podcast is going to be on YouTube Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Apple Music, as well as Amazon Music as well. So guys, check it out. If you're on any of those platforms, hit the follow button and tune in next week for our next episode. We appreciate you stopping by.
Well said, well said. Yeah, we really appreciate everybody. I hope you enjoyed some of this back and forth talk of the new games that came out with Gamescom and talking about Starfield. And there's just so much to talk about. We can't squeeze it all into one show, so stay tuned for more. See everybody later.
Peace.